and welcome to another Movers and Shakers. Well, it's another spotlight interview here at the Movers and Shakers monthly networking event. Tonight we're at the Plaza Athénée and the networking's about to start in the Glasbar. Now, in these series of interviews we've been speaking to business leaders and entrepreneurs, which ties in rather nicely with our guest today, who is the president of the Global Entrepreneurship Week, Steve Cheah. Steve, how are you?
I'm fine, Paul. It's been a busy week. We're going to launch the first press conference in Thailand for Global Entrepreneurship Week Thailand. This is the first time we're going to be doing a national campaign to promote entrepreneurship in Thailand.
Okay.
But let me first, correct you. I'm not the president of Global Entrepreneurship Week.
Okay.
I am, however, the official host of Global Entrepreneurship Week in Thailand.
In Thailand?
Yes.
Okay. Well, and actually that's a very valid point, because this is, although you're talking specifically today about the Thailand event, this is a global.
It is.
And I mean, how long has it been going and how many countries are involved?
It started in 2008. It was actually launched by, the then Prime Minister of UK, Gordon Brown. Started with 86 countries. Okay? So what they did was they found that it was necessary to inspire young people that were jobless to at least consider entrepreneurship as a career path. So they started this program. It was quickly taken up by the Kauffman Foundation in the US. So in the period of 4 years, since 2008, 2009, 10, 11, just this week alone, the 1 week in November, they have recorded about more than 126,000 activities in the total of 4 weeks, with 25 million participants. And last year, in 2011, we had 123 countries involved.
My goodness.
Thailand was involved last year. I was doing a lot of planning for Thailand last year, but unfortunately, all our events had to be cancelled last year because of the floods. So we are going to do our official launch this November in Thailand.
And where will that be held?
It will be held at the Montontani exhibition, Impact Montontani Exhibition Hall, together with the opening ceremony of the 80th Thai Chamber of Commerce Expo.
Ah, okay, right. So that ties in rather nicely. So, it's funny, this whole word entrepreneurs. What is an entrepreneur? I mean, I used to work for Richard Branson, actually, and I think he's one of the most famous entrepreneurs in the way that he challenges maybe the way that business is done normally and kind of goes in or thinks out of the box. Is that an entrepreneur? How would you categorize it?
There's so many definitions, Paul. But basically, the original definition is someone who endeavors, someone who tries, someone who does something new. And it's not about taking risks or anything, but someone who's actually prepared to break the comfort zone and take the extra step. Because entrepreneur, to most people's mind, they think about successful businesses or people who are, risk takers and so on. Although that may be part of it, but the whole concept of entrepreneur is basically getting people to move out of the box and do something new, not knowing whether you're going to be successful or not. The failure is going to be part of it, obviously. So Sir Richard Branson is a very good example. In fact, he's one of the strongest supporters of Global Entrepreneurship Week.
Well, I would imagine he would be.
Yes,
of course. Yes. Because Richard Branson, for those who don't know, he left school at a very young age with not really much in the way of qualifications. And I believe that he's also dyslexic. So, it seemed that perhaps in the norm, you would say, well, he's going to end up working in a certain type of job. But he, of course, went in a completely different direction, or maybe invented the fact that there is a different direction. Well, for our generation.
Well, I actually met Richard Branson earlier this year in March, because he was at the conference for the Global Entrepreneurship Congress. And he was telling us about how he started off. Okay? And he actually started off selling records in those days.
Sure.
But he didn't have the money to buy the records. So he started a little shop with no records, not many records on it, and he went on taking orders.
Yes, mail order.
Mail orders, or whatever he could, which is revolutionary in those days.
Absolutely.
Okay? And when he got the money, he had the deposit, he had the capital to buy the records and deliver to the clients. So which is something not done in those days.
That's it.
Okay.
And then it became the norm.
It became, I don't know if it's a norm or not in the industry, but obviously he made it very well. He made it work, and he went on from there.
With the airlines, and now he's flying people to the moon, right?
Yes, he is. He's telling us about that.
Okay. So if people are watching this and they think, wow, this is something I want to be part of, I want to come along, the date again is, what date in November you said?
Global Entrepreneurship Week happens 1 week in November, second week. This year is going to be from the 12th to the 18th.
Okay.
So from the 12th to 18th, Thailand will join 123 countries around the world. And the whole world is going to be inspiring young people to consider entrepreneurship.
Okay. All right. As we've been speaking, we've put your website up on the screen so people can click on there and have a look. Final question, Steve, because you're here for the networking tonight. Are you a mover or are you a shaker?
I like to think I'm both.
Well, we might put that to the test later.
Well, I see myself more as a social entrepreneur now. We are moving, we are changing mindsets with what we are doing. Okay? So we are moving people along, from one stage to another. Okay? And you need to shake them up. So you need to shake them up.
Yeah.
So
and if not, you move them along.
Yeah,
right?
you're moving along.
Good answer. Steve, thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul.
Okay, see you again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.